everyone. I am Cher from CHER&CHARLIES Crafts. My little puppy dog is not here. He went home last night with my beautiful daughter, and I had asked her to pick him up because I go through downward spells of not feeling well, and he deserves better than that. So he's with her and he's safe and he has a gorgeous home, so you guys, you don't have to worry. Okay, one of my new subscribers, and I really appreciate my new subscribers. I appreciate my old ones even more, maybe because of how you stuck with me through thick and thin, and maybe not the best channel in the world, but I do my best. And then I took a little break, but her name is Emily, and I'm going to make this quick. Emily, I believe, and another one of my new subscribers, hello Emily, asked me, said I'm very interested, which makes me happy when people pick up on what I say and jest. She says, I would be really thrilled to see you make your pumpkins. Now, I made a lot of them last year, and they're not that difficult. They're a little work, but I could not find the needles. Well, looky. I ordered these because I'm sick and tired of trying to find them, and they're very inexpensive, under $5, and I have all these needles. I gotta give it a complaint though, in all honesty. I just dropped one. I don't want to step on that. Okay, here's my complaint, because if you are going to get them from Amazon, this is the second batch I purchased, and I want to be honest with you. The holes in there are perfect, absolutely perfect. They're all different sizes, shapes, but I specifically tell them I want the end very pointy because it makes it easier to go in and out of the fabric, and sometimes hot glue. And they're just not that, I don't know why, they're not pointy enough to really jam through the pumpkins. And I was struggling. In fact, I broke a needle already pushing it through. So, but I am going to show you how I make these pumpkins, so fear not, okay? Before I get started on showing you the step-by-step procedure of how I make them, I wanted to show you, this is a pumpkin that I made last year with leftover rope. And I had a base for it, but it came off. You could see the hot glue. It doesn't matter. I love it. It's so ugly, I literally love it. Has a little thing, Jimmy, little, whatever. This is a pipe cleaner. I just love it. It's just, like I said, so ugly, I love it. Okay. Got myself out to the store today, and because I've been baking cookies. If you see beautiful colored cookies, yours truly makes them. And I just sold about 2.5 pounds, and now all my neighbors are asking me for cookies because they are good. I used to make about 27 kind, maybe 25. I can't do that anymore, especially in this little tiny kitchen. But I want to show you the beautiful colors. This was $4.99 in Acme, which is a lot of money. Orange, pink. That's like a deep purple, yellow, red, green. Aren't they beautiful? So I'm going to make a batch of butter cookies, and I will put a picture up for you guys. I am drinking a latte, and I think that's it. I have, if you're going to make a pumpkin, okay, this is what you will need. Definitely going to need a wide-nosed needle, okay? I don't know what you call them. I have this left over, all different kinds of embroidery thread. I bought a big package of different colors. I believe in Walmart, but you can definitely get smaller packs just as good in Dollar Tree, okay? And then you're going to need your fabric, and I'm going to use this fabric, this black checkered fabric. It's kind of like an oblong. You just have to decide what size pumpkin you want. This is approximately, let's see, 12. You don't really need it that long, really don't. This is about, let's see, 12 or 14 by 8. But it doesn't have to be like this, but just make it a little bit on the oblong size, you're gonna need that. Your thread, whatever color thread that matches your material, your embroidery thread. And the rest is just, you know, you're gonna need something to make it look. I was getting pieces of wood to make the stem, to embellish it. And guess what? I'm gonna use my Django blocks. These are still wet. I just painted them. That's what I'm gonna use as a stem. I'm not even gonna bother to go outside today. I also worked on one of my pine cones, which is still wet for my cousin Janice's floral box, which I'll do in a couple days. I want to really get more florals because I realize I'm going to need a lot more. So, okay, needles, material, hot glue gun, something for a stem, some garnishes, little leaves, or in my case I have this to make a little bow. This is twine and the cream color. Okay, so that's that. Okay, you have your material. Back you up a little bit. We're gonna you're gonna use the opposite sides and fold it in half. So it's good side, facing one another. Flatten it down a little bit. I got my hot glue gun on. And what you're going to do is, and please don't use too much glue, because trust me, you will have a problem. Try to use as little as possible, because when you go through with the needle, oh, it's a pain in the neck if you have too much glue. Okay, so you'll just watch what I'm doing here. Okay, inside, outside stitch, in and out stitch, all the way across one of the bottoms. Doesn't matter which bottom. In and out, in and out, in and out until you get to the end, and then pull it through. This is why I tell you, I do not like the thickness of this part of the needle, because it's very hard to get through with the hot glue. And you're going to pull it through, and then we're going to do a couple stitches to close it off. See how hard it is to get through the glue? We're going to take a couple stitches and just go in and out of the very ends of the material. After you do a couple stitches to close it off, the very last stitch, I want you to go through the loop and pull about 2 or 3 times. I don't want to stick myself. Through the loop and pull. Let's do one more for the heck of it. Through the hoop, just go through the material, go through the hoop, and then knot it, pull. Okay, so that should be knotted, but I'll do one more just in case. I'm going to take it through the loop, not once, but twice, so I have a good knot, okay? We're going to use this again, so just knot it off to be ready. Now, remember I told you, do not throw anything away. This was the insides of the box that I used for my cousin Janice's, the box I used for my cousin Janice's floral box. I used that as her box, took it all apart, made it oblong. This was inside that box, and it had all kinds of beautiful stuff, candles. My daughter gave me candles and lotions, and a pretty pink eye cover for when you sleep, and all this. Well, I'm really mad that I threw some of it away because it was so much, but guess what? We are going to use this for inside the pumpkin. Now, you can use stuffing from a pillow, or let's see, old material that you're going to throw away. You can chop it up with scissors and stuff it, anything you desire that will fill the pumpkin. So here's the bottom. Now we're going to fill it. Hi folks. Okay, now the next step, without stabbing yourself, I have some little bit of this left, but I don't think it's going to be enough string for us to finish this pumpkin. I don't know. Okay, so we're at the top, and you're going to pull, and then you're going to take it from the top to the bottom and go through the bottom. Try to steer away from that glue, because like I said, you don't want to get stabbed, because these needles, they just want to get stuck. And then bring it very carefully back through the top. Push it through. Be very careful about where it comes through, because let me tell you something, it hurts. And pull it tight as you want your little pumpkin to look. See, that's one of the grooves in the pumpkin. Now you're going to go to the next side. You're going to go underneath again and go through the bottom of the pumpkin, come up. Be careful with the needle. Okay, here it comes. I put it on something and press. See, this is why I know I'm going to definitely need, you can adjust your string the way you want it on your pumpkin. If you want 5 sides, I usually like to have 6 if I can. Now you see I'm running out of my string, so I think I can go underneath one more time, and then I've got to rethread. In fact, I don't think I'm going to do that, because I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to knot it off. All right, so what we're going to do is make a stitch. See, it must be hitting glue again. Make a stitch in the pumpkin like a regular, oh boy, this is tough. See, this is what I do not like about the Amazon needles. Why they are so sticky and have a hard time going through, I have no idea, but I had the same issue with the last batch. I don't know why I ordered them. Probably could have went to Michael's and got really good needles. All right, and then you're going to make your little knot needle through the loop. Do it again, only like maybe 2-3 times, because we're going to finish this off with some new thread. Okay, so you get your little loop here and just go through a couple times, and you got your knot, and we're going to cut it off. Now I'm going to rethread, and I don't have any more of the white thread, so I'm going to use, we have 2 sections here of the pumpkin. We have to finish it off. I know, don't get discouraged. It will look good. Okay, so I'll be right back. I didn't have the white thread, but I have this really light baby blue, which will be just fine. So here's what we're going to do. We have 2 sections of the pumpkin here. We're going to go through the bottom and up again. That one went through real easy. As long as I don't have anything near the glue, we're good. And then you're going to pick another section and go to the top and put it through. Don't worry about where your string is, because your thread, I'm sorry, I've been saying string, because you can always adjust your little sections of the pumpkin. So see, we're going to move this over a little bit. I usually like, oh, I don't want to get this knotted. Okay, so you can't even tell this isn't white. All right, now we're going to go back up and make another little, oh, it's going through nice and easy, good. I'm not saying not to buy the Amazon needles, but I don't know. I just am not thrilled with how they're so thick, they get stuck. Okay, now we're at the bottom, so we're going to come up and from the bottom to the top. You're going from the bottom to the top and the top to the bottom. And now we have, I'm going to make one more. So you see how many we have? 1, 2, 3. It's hard to see, I know. 4, 5. I'm going to do one more, bring it up right here to have 6 sections of the pumpkin. That's usually looks good. You don't have to, like, there's sometimes the pumpkins you buy in Dollar Tree or Michael's have more than 6 sections, but you don't need any more than that for these kind of pumpkins. I probably could have used a little more, but you can scrunch this up any way you want it. Now I'm just kind of moving around the thread to where I want it, you know, to make it look real nice. Okay, now you're at the bottom, okay? So we're gonna do again, we're gonna do a regular stitch about 2-3 times. Just go through 2-3 times. Like I said, if you want, you can, if you have your stick ready or whatever you're gonna use, rope is good for your little stem. You can put that in there, hot glue it inside the pumpkin before you close it off, right? If you have any questions, you can ask me. Now this is the last one. I'm going to go through the loop, tie it off, and that should be fine. Cut it. Okay, now you have your little pumpkin, and you can switch it. This could have probably used a little more of the stuffing, but it's okay. It's fine. Okay, now what you can do is hot glue anything you desire to the top of the pumpkin to get that look. Now, like I said, I have these little Django blocks, tumbling blocks that were $1, and even though it's wet, I'm going to go ahead and hot glue it on there so you could see. I'm going to put a little glue on the sides. I'll show you in a second. I don't have enough wire to show you, to bring my glue gun over. So you see all the glue I have on there, all up in the sides, and you're going to stick it down. Pick the best side of your pumpkin and squish it together and hold it for at least maybe 1 to 2 minutes, okay? Now, I did a pumpkin before I came on here to make sure that I was going to work out okay, and it certainly did. This is the pumpkin that I just made, and I added just enough of the stuffing, but like I said, it's so nice. You can just squish it around to make it look puffier, you know? And I'm going to go back and look at another YouTube DIY for pumpkins to make sure that I am representing this well. I like doing it this way. It gives it a more authentic look for a pumpkin, you know, and just pick this, that you could go here or here, whichever you think is best. If you've got an ugly side where it's all scrunchy with thread and all, that's the side that I would put the stem. Okay, so we got our 2 little pumpkins. Now this should be good. Now it's glued, it should be dried, and you can fluff it up. Take my fingers and fluff it up. And now you can add your embellishments. I have somewhere, I have some string, some twine. Here we go. I got a couple pieces of twine off my roller, and I have 2 together, and I'm just going to tie this, even them up a little bit, and tie this around the pumpkin, the stem. I'm just going to knot it. If you want, you can make a cute little bow I have also, I believe here somewhere, a little leaf. I'm going to pull one of these leaves off of this flower, and I'm going to hot glue it right on there. Now you can do whatever your heart desires. That's the fun part about crafting. I'm just going to stick it right in there. You can do what you want. I'm looking for my makeup applier or face mask applier, but it's probably right in front of my face and I don't see it. Okay, so also you can put a little extra, like a little extra bow on there. I'll make one just so you can see what I mean, just to give it a little bit of extra. This is for my friend Olivia, because Olivia loves my pumpkins, and the reason I grabbed this material in Dollar Tree, it was the last checked material there, was because she loves that look still. I'm kind of over it. Seeing if this is running, but she likes it, so I usually just go like this. It's so easy to make bows, I'm telling you. This, and then one more, and you got your cute little bow. And then I'm going to take another little piece of twine. And tie it right down the center. This is kind of a double bow. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you different ideas. And we'll just hot glue that on there. So thank you, Emily, for pushing me to get those needles to make the pumpkins. I'm ready. Now, this is the first couple that I made. Okay, so trust me, as you go along, you will find your own technique or an easier technique, smarter, not harder. That's what my grandmom always said. And you can do whatever you feel works for you. And the more you do, the more they'll be perfected. Believe me, these are my beginners. So the more I do them, the more I'll notice that they're going to get better and better. So don't give up. I also have this pretty material. If you remember from a haul, Crafter Square, it's a beautiful green and black that I'm going to make some pumpkins. And also, this is some gorgeous orange material someone gave me last year. So I'll be making a few more. If you've got sweaters or a shirt you don't like, or maybe that belong to your grandson or someone special, cut some out, make the size I told you to make, the oblong, and make a pumpkin. And that'll be really cool to have something of your grandchild. So take care. God bless. In a couple days, we are definitely going to do that floral box. I'm looking forward to it. I just feel as though I need more florals. Oh, before we go, do you remember the pumpkin that I hated and I painted it like a million times? This isn't quite dry. I ended up painting it like a beautiful green, and I'll show you. I have Dollar Tree tissue paper. So it's not dry yet, so it's going to be even prettier when it's dry. I decided to paint it the green and then put Mod Podge the tissue paper, and I'm looking forward to putting the stem back on. I painted the stem gold, so I don't think it's a total loss. I just refuse to give up. So there's that, which I forgot to mention, and it's still very wet, so it's not done yet. So you guys remember I did that on my last video, I guess you would call it a little decor piece. Well, I got a beautiful card, and I gave my neighbor the floral piece that I made on the last video. Plus I gave her some homemade butter cookies and told her I appreciate her as a neighbor because she's very to herself, but a beautiful, lovely person. And I want to appreciate my neighbors. And she wrote, thanks, I'm one fortunate cookie. Thank you for the gift, and it was very nice. And I will keep it and think of you every time I see it. You are a good neighbor also, Bernice. So I'm thrilled. I was so scared to give it to her, and she really likes it. And I don't know if I told you, this was the card from Debbie Baram. And I also did find the owl, Debbie. It's in the kitchen. And she gave me this beautiful little floral card about 3 weeks ago and wrote me a lovely letter. She's so good to me. Debbie, this and that channel. She tries to help me so much to get my channel rolling, and I want to tell you, Debbie, I have 5 more subscribers, so I thank you very much. And she puts, Pippa says hi, her kitty. Wyatt says hi, Duke says hi. She has so many kittens. I think that's awesome. I hope, I forget what there's something funny she said here, but I'll keep it to myself. All right, so anyway, thank you for watching, and I will be back, and the next thing will be the floral box. This was the piece of wood I got from Dollar Tree that I made Bernice that cute little decor. I love the smell of wood. Take care, God bless. I hope you are happy, my new subscribers, with the pumpkins, and I'll be back to make more. Thank you. I'll pray for you. Please pray for me.